I'm Judy Zelina. This is the Millcreek Government Channel, joining you on a beautiful fall day at Presque Isle State Park. Today we're going to join the education staff to find out what Presque Isle has to offer once the chill is in the air and the snow is on the ground. Hiking is such an important part and an exciting part down here at Presque Isle. Here today to talk about hiking and snowshoe programs, we have our dear friend Ray Bierbauer.
Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing today?
Pretty good.
It is gorgeous. Thank you for
Yep.
joining us.
No
I know you guys are really busy, especially with the transition from different seasons.
Yep.
But we are going to talk about, and when people talk about coming down to Presque Isle, they talk about hiking and walking.
Yep.
But with winter coming, there's also snowshoeing.
Yes. So yeah, as we transition into the late fall here and into winter, you know, the snow will start flying at some point. So given an opportunity, we like to get the snowshoes out. It's another different way to enjoy a hike out here at the park.
Now, I know in previous years you've always had scheduled hikes. Are you
Yes.
going to keep doing that this year?
We will have hikes, but for the snowshoeing, in the past years, we've planned hikes and we haven't had the weather. So what we've been doing now is we're going to do like Facebook posts and try to get it into the media as soon as we can to let people know that, hey, we're going to do a snowshoe hike on this day at this time, to try to guarantee we get to use the shoes. But if we have planned hikes and an opportunity arises, you know, and snowshoes would help, we're going to use them there as well.
So I think it's really important for our viewers to know to visit your Facebook page.
Yes. Yep.
And that is what, Presque Isle State Park?
Yep, Presque Isle State Park, Erie, PA. So,
Okay, and then just like them, and then of course you'll be following them and you can keep updated on any of the programs.
Yep.
All right, snowshoeing. Sounds fun. I don't have snowshoes.
Well, we have a concessionaire here at Shelter 1. He will be open on weekends whenever there's at least 4 inches of snow. And if there is a chance that he's like not open during one of our night programs or something, the park itself has 50 pairs of snowshoes that we can make available to the public, first come, first serve.
Are there different sizes of snowshoes?
Yeah, this one here is for an adult, so somebody's going to be like over 200 pounds, and then they go down to like probably about 16, 18 inches in length for the smaller folks. And we do have some kiddie ones that are real small, but we usually don't get those out for a lot of our programs. Those are used for like the preschool programs and such that we do. So,
do you bring kids down here from the elementary schools?
Yes, we actually get some as part of our rec programming that we do. So we do get the kids that come out here and we do take them out on a snowshoe. And we've been going to several schools in the area, have actually gotten grants to purchase their own snowshoes. And we go to the schools and actually help them for a whole day. It's usually with their gym classes, and we do snowshoeing activities with them. They're kicking a soccer ball and everything. So
with snowshoes?
With snowshoes. So we make it a little bit more entertaining than just walking through a trail.
Right. I don't think I could walk in those, let alone start kicking balls around.
There's a lot of falling involved. So.
Is there?
Yeah.
No, all kidding aside,
Yep.
is it pretty easy? Is it relatively easy?
It takes a little bit of getting used to,
Okay.
because you got to make sure obviously your toes are clamped in, everything else is kind of loose, so you can't back up real easy. You got to think about it if you do and stuff, and you got a little bit of a wider stance that you got to take so you're not crossing tails. The big thing that I've noticed when we do this is people want to walk too close to each other, and somebody behind an individual steps on a tail, and then you got somebody face planting. So
well, yeah, that would be me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if there's going to be one, it's going to be me. I think this is a great way for anybody who is interested or has any kind of interest in snowshoeing. It's a good way to kind of test it out, see if you do like it.
Definitely.
And then you can go buy your own. You can come down here anytime you want.
Too. So you'll definitely know you do it. You'll feel it in your legs the next day if you do a 2-mile hike out here. So.
All right.
Or anywhere.
Okay. So snowshoeing, let's just transition into your different hiking programs.
Yeah.
That I don't need snowshoes for.
Yep.
You've got just some different walking, hiking programs.
Yeah, we do scheduled hikes. We'll have our monthly night hikes that will occur either here at Presque Isle or our other park, Erie Bluff State Park. So we'll do the monthly night hikes out there, and those we take an opportunity to see whatever is available. We've recently heard that the first snowy owl was seen in Pennsylvania, so maybe we're going to have them migrating down. So those will be more visible in the day hikes, but it's still an opportunity as we approach sunset and stuff to see them. So
now you have scheduled and guided day hikes and evening hikes,
yes.
Correct?
Yes.
All right. If I come on a day hike or I come on an evening hike, what's going to be the difference? What am I going to see different? What am I going to hear different?
During the day, a lot of times, most of the animals are going to be resting, but it does afford us an opportunity to see things much easier because we have daylight. So we do search for owls because they are easier to see with all the leaves off the trees and stuff. Deer are always a possibility. You can walk much quieter depending on the type of snow through the woods, and you can kind of sneak up on the little critters. A lot of the small rodents and stuff, if it's not too nasty of a day, the squirrels, chipmunks and stuff, they will be active running around too, so we can see them, as well as the turkeys and stuff. And then when you get into the night, it's more of your listening and stuff. We have seen owls if we have a good full moon, which we try to plan our hikes around a full moon, so we do have a little bit of light, but here at Presque Isle, you get a lot of the light from the city as well. So that helps you to see if an owl flies out of a tree and such. But mainly at night, we're listening, so the coyotes howling, that's always something that we can almost guaranteed to get them to go somehow. We have a game call that we can get them to respond back. We have called them in within probably 50 yards of a group before.
No way,
and then they howled, yes. So that was something else. That'll make the hair on your neck stand up. But if you do the right calls, you can get them to come right to a group. And, you know, we didn't see them, but we heard them real close. So
oh my gosh.
Those are some different opportunities. You know, at dark, your senses just get heightened much more. So you kind of get into overdrive with
All right, I have a question now, too. Now, with these hikes, of course, there's going to be snow and it's going to be cold. So, of course, you have to dress for the weather.
Yes, that's very important.
How long are these hikes?
Most of our hikes, we go by the weather. You know, if it's really nasty, we're going to shorten them up and stuff just for safety.
Okay.
So usually we try to get 2 miles. So like an hour and a half is what we do. We're not going to, in the wintertime, we don't want to blaze the trail real fast because you're going to break a sweat, and that's when you can get cold if you do stop and such. So usually they're about an hour and a half total. We pause a little bit as we go, that we're not running through them. It's just a nice stroll through the woods and stuff, because obviously we want to take advantage to see the wildlife and answer any questions along the way too.
And I think that's what's great when you guys take a group out, because honestly, when you're out there, there's tons of questions.
There is, and you never know what you're going to run into. So we go in with a little bit of a game plan, but I mean, we've been doing this long enough that there's enough on every trail to talk about.
So from that game plan,
and somebody might bring up a great topic or see something really cool, and you know, we always run with that too.
Okay. So. Now, is it for all ages, or are we just doing this for adults?
All ages can, as long as a child or even the adults can handle, you know, walking a distance that we advertise, usually like 1.5 miles to 2 miles.
Okay.
And, dressing for the weather is the big thing. You know, you want to layer up, because we open up our coats a lot of times on these, even when it is cold. So
once you've been walking.
Yeah, once you get moving and stuff. So that's the key thing. As long as they can dress for it and handle going for a little walk. And it's a good idea to bring some water along too, even though it is cold in winter. You still can get dehydrated, and it's nice to have a drink of water too. Okay,
now do I have to sign up for any of these hikes?
Most of them are just show up. They do not require registration or a fee associated with them. With some of the snowshoe specific programs, we probably will take registration for, just so we know we have shoes, you know, what we have available and stuff like that. So, and a lot of times those will have a cap on how many people, but for our night hikes and stuff, we've had as many as 200 people join us. So,
really?
Yeah.
The more the merrier.
The more the merrier, I guess, yeah. So we're a train going through the woods. So.
And again, how do they find out about the snowshoeing and the hiking?
They can visit DCNR website for the calendar of events, and a lot of our registration is done through that. Our Facebook page as well, Presque Isle State Park, Erie, PA. We'll have all the links on there for the various programs, and then trekpi.org has our calendar of events on there too, and all the links that you would need.
Okay.
So,
Ray, thank you so much for joining me and telling me about the hiking and the snowshoeing. I have never tried snowshoeing, and I might get one of those little pairs.
Okay, we can do that.
And come out with you.
Okay, not a problem.
Okay, thanks, Ray.
Thank you.
Well, I'm here with Brian Gula and Glue. So obviously, this is going to be an interesting segment of the program, right, Brian?
Oh, absolutely,
What are we going to talk about? You've got glue, we've got some branches.
Well, you know, during the wintertime, sometimes it may not always be good enough weather to get outside and enjoy nature. And so sometimes you may have to bring nature in. And it's always a great opportunity for families and children to explore their environment. And you could easily do that inside as well as being outside. And so Right now we're in the fall, and the fall is such a great time to have a lot of natural items that are presented to us that you can utilize for educational purposes, but also for making crafts. We're getting to the time of year where there's some holidays coming up, and just a great opportunity to kind of get out your crafty side.
So we're making crafts out of nature.
That's right.
Ah, this is exciting.
And so, here along the lakeshore, and again here on Presque Isle, there's an abundance of red oak. And every year red oak drop their acorns on the ground, and it's a valuable food source for a variety of animals. But they also make a great craft material. And you can do a variety of things. And today, kind of a fun little craft for kids and getting ready for the upcoming holidays is I call them my little acorn minions. Right? And so here we have a little acorn. He's kind of all dressed up, he could look like an owl, or he can fit in really for any holiday or just any fun craft to do maybe when the weather's not so great outside, just to have the kids. And part of the fun part too is taking the family out when you have good weather and collecting, taking a hike on the woods and making it a treasure hunt. See what kind of materials the kids can find, acorns and pine cones and different leaves and branches, anything that looks unique. And so here, what I'm going to have you do is we're going to take an acorn, and we have a lot of programs throughout the wintertime here at Presque Isle that focus on a lot of craft and art types of programs utilizing the natural material. And this is your typical red oak acorn cap.
Okay.
What I did was I shaved down the end.
All right.
You have the little end on the acorn.
Okay.
And we just shaved it down a little bit. All right. And so this is going to act as our stand.
All right.
All right. So then you're going to choose an acorn.
Okay. Where is my acorn?
And so to dress up the acorn, we have a couple of items here. So we have you always got to set your creature up for some googly eyes, and these are just little stick-me dots.
Well, of course you have to have googly eyes.
All right.
Okay.
Now you can do 1 eye, 2 eye, 3 eye. The creativity is all you. So.
Well, I think I will do 2 eyes. Well, no, I'm doing 1 eye. Now that I see him.
In the tradition of the minion, right?
Yes. Okay. I got 1 eye. Now what do I have to do?
Now we're gonna put some
to play with glue.
Some goofy feet on them, So whatever the creature, if we want to make a little owl or any creature with the acorn.
Okay.
So we're gonna just apply a little glue there.
And I can just stick him right on there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we get to play around. We got some neat feathers. A lot of times when you're walking in the woods, you never know, you might find some feathers on the ground. Or any material that...
Everybody needs hair accessories.
That's right.
Brian.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you.
So I'm going to have you dab wherever you want to put your hair or your feathers or whatever you want to be.
Oh, look at that. See, I'm telling you, Brian does not realize how dangerous this is with me with glue. Okay, of course I have to have one on the side. A nice large one.
I like it. That's looking cool.
See. Oh, we got to do something back here. Okay. Whoops. Oh, don't go away. There we go. All right.
I like it. So that's awesome. And you can see how kids would just enjoy this.
I lost my eyeball.
You can see how the kids would really enjoy, utilizing what nature provides for us, and also having a little fun with it.
And then I can just set them in there.
And you got your little stand.
I've created a Judy minion.
That's awesome.
Brian, thank you.
You're
and look,
welcome.
this is just from acorns, some feathers, some found objects.
Yeah.
This is fun. You know what? I'm keep looking at this in front of us here.
So
this is so unique.
This is pretty cool.
Branch.
So what we have here, anytime we do a program on nature, you can always take advantage of the natural resources that we have.
I understand you're also going to have me try and make a wreath.
Well, yeah, So here we have,
I can't wait to see this.
this is something that's called Oriental bittersweet, and it's a non-native, and it can actually cause somewhat of an environmental problem. If there's too much of it, it grows up in our native species and it wraps it around. You can see that this Oriental bittersweet is basically choking.
I was going to say, could it choke
It's
this?
strangling this, this native branch, this native tree. And so here at Presque Isle, we manage our invasive species, utilizing interns during the summertime, and going in and cutting out some of the invasives, or treating it in some way, and all efforts to preserve our natural biodiversity, and that's really what it's all about. So, but we can also, once we treat the Oriental bittersweet and it's dead, we can utilize it for crafts, just like we're gonna do today. So I'm gonna take you over and I'm gonna have you, I also got some native vine that we're gonna work with today, and I'm gonna show you how to make a wreath.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, Brian, here we are, wreath making 101.
Well, here at Presque Isle, we have a lot of different species of vines.
Okay.
And here we have a native grapevine. And there's many uses for grapevines. And of course, one of the most common during the holidays is grapevine wreaths. So I'm going to show you today how to utilize if you have grapevines in your backyard.
Okay.
And this is, again, another great fun project for the kids. Going out, harvesting, collecting the material, and then what you're going to want to do is soak this in water for maybe a day or so to get it to be very pliable.
All right.
And then it'll be a lot easier to form it and make it into the shape that you want.
All right.
So we're just going to do a general shape. We got a section of vine here about 20 feet long or so.
All right.
And we're going to just kind of let the vine kind of make its own sort of circle. And I'm kind of feeling right about in here.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is just kind of tuck that in like so. And so now what we're going to do is basically now kind of a weaving process. So every time we have the vine, we're going to take the vine, find our end here. And I left all of these little pieces on it because we'll just see how this thing forms at the end. Kind of all fun.
It's a character, huh, Brian?
Yeah. Every vine is going to be a little different. So I'm just going to pull that through all the way as we go along here.
And you see how easy this is? It really is.
Yeah, it's just, it's fun. It's just kind of getting...
I wondered how people got it all together like that. I would have just kept doing it in a circle. And hope for the best.
Yeah,
so it didn't come apart and smack me in the head.
And then we're just going to continue. We're just going to keep pulling our material through. And again, you're just going to kind of see where the material's kind of playing around, where it wants to go. Bring that piece through. Pull this through like that. And then, of course, as the vine gets a little bit shorter,
it's not as dangerous for the person standing next to you, right, Brian?
Right. So this is a fun activity for doing outside or inside. Need a little bit of space is all.
Right.
Garage works good. Basement maybe. So once I get this one passed through, I'm going to turn it over to you. And you can continue the weaving process and see what you come up with.
Okay.
Right. And depending on your material, you can make it as big or as small as you want it.
I see. As this is all
and it's working
coming
with your
together.
hands. Yeah.
It's all coming together now. Well, it did for Brian. You see? But I think as you go through, you can just kind of then work it a little bit more, huh?
Yeah, keep wrapping that around. Okay. Now you got your frame, all right? You got your main frame here, right?
Yeah, I got twigs on me.
Kind of cool. You're covered in twigs, right?
That's all right.
And
that's okay.
Good.
This is a good thing.
So then, if you wanted to keep going, you can
make it as thick, as big as you want.
Yeah, whatever shape, And you know, however you hold it, this kind of has kind of a neat little egg shape going on, you know, so it doesn't have to be perfectly round.
No, it's,
you know?
it's like a little Easter egg.
Right.
Yeah.
So then we can always dress it up a little bit. You know,
Okay.
it's fun to do dress up, right?
All right. Yes, it is.
So with some material found in nature, here we have some sassafras,
Okay.
which smells wonderful.
Mm-hmm. So all you do then is you just get some nature found objects.
Yeah.
Just kind of weave them in.
kind of weave it around a little bit.
Oh, this is great.
And,
this
maybe
is?
this is sumac.
Uh-huh.
All right, we'll weave a little bit of color in there.
Okay. It's not like the poison sumac, is
No,
it?
no.
All
This
right.
is what's great.
I'm just asking as I'm holding this here, Brian.
What's great about the sumac is, in fact, the sumac is actually edible. This is a pretty nice fall drink. You can actually take this top of the sumac and make a sumac aid. Soak it in water, add a little bit of sugar to it, and you got yourself probably one of the greatest natural fall drinks.
Really?
That's out there in nature. So
What's it taste like?
it's
Is it like a tea or?
it's very similar to lemonade, really. It's very similar to lemonade. And then we're gonna leave. I like this guy whole here, so
I
we're
do
gonna
too.
kind of
Yeah.
finish it off. We'll weave one of the leaves down here. All right, and there you go.
There you go.
And of course,
I helped a little bit.
you did great. Yeah,
I held it when you designed it.
Well, and you know, you can see that every single one of these is going to be different depending
You know
on the
what,
material that
this-
you have. It allows creativity, and it's just fun, and it can be educational as well, learning about the materials that are in your backyard.
Brian, this is great. Do you have these programs? Do you have to sign up for these programs here? Or how can people find out about any of the crafting
Well, on
programs?
our website, trekpi.org, we're going to have a lot of programs, nature craft related, in the month of December. So make sure you look for us on our website, and of course we put out our monthly flyer at
Okay.
the Tom Bridge Center.
All right.
It's available on the website as well, and all winter long throughout the year. So
Okay, Brian, thank you so much for helping us to understand the different crafts we can make with nature, and really for letting me kind of get my hands sticky and making a wreath. Of course, I didn't do it, but I'm going to say I made it. Outside the Window is a very popular children's program here at Presque Isle. Stacy Morant is going to be telling us all the different activities and different things the kids are going to be learning this year. There's a lot of interesting things on the table. So Stacy, thank you for joining us. And what's going on this year outside the window?
Starting December 3rd and then December 17th, we're having Outside the Window programs.
Okay.
And it's programs in the morning, and you have to call the park to register for that. And there's a charge of $3 per child. But December 3rd, we're actually going to do outside your window looking at birds, common birds that you would see at your bird feeder over the winter.
Even in my backyard.
Yes, anybody's backyard.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to learn about some of those birds that you might see in the wintertime outside your window, and then we'll make, we always learn about the birds, and then we read a story and we have a craft. So our craft is probably going to be maybe a bird feeder of some type, maybe a pine cone. We take the pine cone and we kind of roll it in shortening, and then you roll it in bird seed, and then you can hang that up outside your window.
Simple. You have a quick, easy bird feeder.
Right, it's simple and it's natural.
I love it. I love it. All right, Stacy, what birds am I going to see outside my window in my own backyard?
Well, a very common one that you can see is the chickadee.
All right.
And we'll also learn the sound that they make. And they also do a chickadee-dee-dee-dee-dee. And I like to tell the kids that, and they always go chickadee-dee-dee-dee. Keep going on with the dee-dee-dee-dee.
Of course, the whole class are going to be doing DDD.
Dee-dee-dees with the chickadee. So that's a common one.
All right.
And we'll learn the sounds that they make and what they look like.
Okay.
Another common one, of course, is your cardinal.
Right.
And this male cardinal is more colorful. And we always enjoy seeing the cardinals, especially because of the bright colors that stick out.
And some of them hang around in the winter, though, right?
Yes.
Not all of them, though, right?
No, not all of them.
Okay.
But of course, we'll read a story, and maybe 1 or 2 stories, and birds in our backyard.
Okay.
And we'll get the binoculars out and look through the binoculars. In the Tom Ridge Environmental Center,
All right.
At the Discovery Room, where the Outside the Window programs will be held, we have bird feeders right outside the window.
So they can actually see the birds
Yes,
coming in.
we'll see lots
That
of birds
is-
during the
oh, how nice.
program.
How nice.
And so they'll learn how to use the binoculars and look outside the windows. And we do try to go outside during a portion of the program too, so we might be able to sneak out the door and sneak around. And of course, we don't have to get really close because we'll have the binoculars in order to view the birds.
And then when you have a whole group of kids that you're trying to sneak outside, those birds are going to go flying away, so they'll be able to see them fly.
Well, actually, you'd be surprised
I bet
because they're very
want-
quiet.
because
Yes,
they want to see those
They want to
birds.
see them. Yeah.
All right, we have got some pelts over there. Tell me,
Now this is
and a skull. What the heck is that?
not in the winter time, but in the spring, we're going to do a program outside the window about skunks. Very interesting character, the skunk. We all try to avoid, but we will learn what the skunk does to give you warnings.
Okay.
And they give you very distinct warnings before they ever spray. So they don't just say, there you are, and spray. They
Right.
they give a lot of warning, and it's kind of like a little dance that they do before they spray you.
They give a little dance
Kind
before
of
they're
like a
going to
little
spray
dance because they'll look at you,
you. All right.
and
is
they
it-
turn tail towards you.
okay, when the tail's at me,
But they're still giving you a warning.
okay, that's a warning that it's coming, right?
And then they'll turn around and look at you. Tail goes up,
Okay.
didn't spray yet,
All right.
still looking at you,
Okay.
saying, hey, got my tail up,
All right.
you need to leave.
Okay.
So if you're still hanging around, which hopefully you aren't, then they do a little stomp.
Okay.
And then if you're still there, well, then they got you.
I would not still be there the minute I saw that. So really, there are warning signs. I'll be darned.
And you know, they probably give dogs these warning signs too, but you know how dogs are.
No, they just
They
got to
don't
keep
take-
exploring.
So we have some pelts here from real skunks.
Okay.
And the kids, of course, they have no smell to them anymore.
These
They're,
are soft.
and they'll be able to feel these. And these are educational pelts.
And the kids would just love holding these.
Yeah, these are all for educational purposes.
Okay.
And then, of course, they get to see
this.
that, and that's a replica of a skull of a skunk.
That
Very
is-
sharp teeth, as you might be surprised at, because they're actually a carnivore and an omnivore. They eat meat.
They really have sharp teeth.
They eat a lot of insects.
But it's so little. This skull is so tiny. This isn't a baby skunk or anything,
no,
is it?
that's a adult skunk.
It's an adult skunk. So these are just some of the things that they are going to be talking about and learning about outside the window. And Stacy, I know there's something else you wanted to talk to me about and let our viewers know about this great program you have going.
Well, December 17th, for Outside the Window, we're going to be talking about ice fishing. And although the Presque Isle Bay may not be iced over yet,
right.
it probably will be soon.
Okay.
And of course, we're not going to go out on the bay. We'll still be at the Tom Ridge Environmental Center, but we'll set up our ice fishing tent. And we'll tell a story, of course, and we'll do a craft, and we'll let the kids will be able to go inside the tent and kind of see what it feels like to be inside a real ice fishing tent.
Well, you know me, and I want to see the inside of this ice fishing tent. So let's go over and take a peek inside, and maybe I can even catch a fish.
Okay, good.
This is the ice fishing tent that the children are going to be using in the ice fishing program in the outside the window. Actually, it's the first ice fishing tent I've ever been in, and it really does keep you kind of warm. So Stacy is going to explain exactly the different props we're going to be using and how the kids are going to pretend ice fish. Stacy, I'm loving this program for the kids. I mean, because it's something, of course, they've probably heard people talking about ice fishing. This way they can just sort of get the feel of what it's all about. What are some of the props? Now I see this fishing pole here. They'll be using this.
Right, this is just kind of a fun thing. When they go inside the tent, they can act like they are catching a fish and pulling it up through the hole in the ice.
That's my kind of fishing. You see that? Of course, I don't know if I go to try it. Let me see.
Yep, just a little fun thing that they can do.
Okay, I'm going to see. All right, guys, I'm going to see if I can catch fish here. We'll see. Look at, I can't even catch a fish. Ha ha. First fish I ever caught.
Yep, pretty easy. I don't know if it would taste very good.
No, I don't think
Pretty
so
easy,
either.
though.
Okay, what is this little scooper thing?
Now,
Looks like a big ladle.
It is. So once the hole was drilled, this is what you use to scoop all the ice up out of the hole. And of course we won't actually be on the ice, but the kids can just kind of take a look at it. And that's the good thing about this program, is that the kids are allowed to touch things. So they're going to be allowed to play with this a little bit and do a little bit of fishing. We're also going to have a real ice auger there, and the ice auger is what we use to actually drill the hole in the ice.
That's what I was going to ask. How in the world do they actually drill that hole?
It's called an ice auger, and we'll have that there. Now, the kids won't be able to play with that because that could be a little dangerous.
Right.
But we'll have that there for them to be able to look at.
Okay.
And we'll also have some mounts of fish to see what kind of fish is the most popular fish you would catch while you're ice fishing.
And you also, of course, the story's included, isn't it?
Right, the story, and then we'll do a craft also.
Oh, okay. Okay, examples of the craft that you're going to do.
We could do just a craft of a fish.
So it'll have, they'll have something to take home.
Right, oh yeah. They
Not
always
only
have,
the stories and learning how to ice fish, they're also going to bring something home that, of course, Mom and Dad are going to put on the shelf and be so proud to display.
yes,
They
and
are.
when they bring that home, that gives them an opportunity
It does.
to talk about what they learned for the day.
Stacy, these are great programs. The kids are absolutely going to love it. And again, as we tell the viewers, keep up on Facebook. Like Presque Isle State Park on Facebook, and you're going to learn about when, again, all these programs are. If they aren't on Facebook, how else can they find out the dates?
Well, the dates are advertised in the Erie Times newspaper, and also sometimes on PI 365s on TV.
Okay.
They can find out the dates, or they can just call the office
All right.
to find out when they are.
Stacy, thank you so much for
Thank
taking
you,
the time,
Judy.
telling us about it. Always fun visiting you, and it wouldn't be a visit with Stacy without her little friend, the skunk. John Laskos is going to talk about the program, Campfire Talks. John, it's always a pleasure being here with you.
It's nice to have you out here.
You know, you always have something interesting going. Campfire Talks sounds like fun.
It is a lot of fun.
Tell me about it.
We have campfire talks just about every month throughout the year.
All right.
In the summertime, we do the campfire talks out at Beach 11. And we have a fire ring we have a fire going, and people are invited to come out, and they usually bring their lawn chairs or their sleeping blankets to put on the ground. And we talk about a variety of things, wild edibles, waterfowl, campfire cooking. It's different every month, and we usually draw quite a few people. Some of our largest crowds have been close to 300 people.
You're kidding me, really?
Yeah, it's very popular.
Well, okay, you do them out there in the summer. Now we're coming into the fall and the winter season. Where will they be able to find you for the Campfire Talks?
In the colder months, in the fall and in the early winter, we hold the campfire program right here in this building, the Rotary Pavilion.
All right.
And we still have a campfire. We have hot chocolate and coffee. People are invited to bring their favorite mug or a sleeping bag. And even though it's inside the building, it still gets a little chilly, but
Okay.
that brings people closer together. We, cuddle up, cozy up, and kids are welcome. We have activities for the kids, and we talk about whatever we decide to talk about, and it's been a big hit.
Okay, now what if it's freezing? And we've had freezing
Yes,
times.
we have. Yes,
haven't
we have.
I'm Presque Isle.
When that happens, we usually know in advance, and we're talking January, maybe February. Then we move the program up to the Tom Ridge Environmental Center.
Only if you need to,
Only
right?
if we need to, and that'll be publicized way in advance.
All right, campfire talks. Give me an example of some of the things you are going to be talking about.
We'll be talking about things like, one of our favorites is wild edibles.
Yeah, I was going to ask you
Wild
about
edibles.
that. What are some of the edibles that I can walk around the park and make something out of?
Oh, plenty of things. We have cattails.
What am I going to do with cattail?
Cattails are found in the wetlands.
Right.
It's a good survival food. Rose hips. We make sassafras tea out of sassafras shoots and leaves.
Okay, all right.
We make tea from the staghorn sumac.
All right.
And a lot of times we have Dutch oven exhibits in the sand. And that's been a big crowd favorite too.
What is that?
Well, that's where you cook with iron cookware and Dutch ovens, and we bake
Right over the open fire.
right over the open fire. People get a chance to see how that's done, and they also get to taste our wares.
Okay. I'm going to go back to cattails. You can eat a cattail?
You can eat a cattail, that's correct. You simply pull the root, the plant out by the roots,
All right.
peel back the outer layers, and then in the center of the root will be a nice white, juicy pith. And to me and a lot of other people, it tastes like cucumber.
Really?
Yeah, it's delicious.
See, this is why I love this program. I learn something new every time. But I'm going to tell you the wild edibles. I think that would be a great program. Isn't this something where, and I remember you with this program before we talked about it, you can do a whole meal. You'll show a whole meal
Yeah, you could.
of different things.
Some of the other programs that we do are natural history. A co-worker, Emily, does a beautiful talk about the lighthouse history.
That's it's got a wealth of information.
It's got a wealth of information. She even talks about pirates and things like that. But when people come to these programs, we suggest they come with an open mind and just enjoy. And everybody seems to learn something about whatever topic we're talking about.
And of course, you've got the wildlife. You'd be talking about some of the wildlife.
We talk about the wildlife. I do several talks a year about coyotes and foxes on the park.
All right.
That particular program seems to be a popular topic for visitors because everyone always wants to know about the coyotes and the fox.
Yes,
and
they do.
Are your children safe and things like that.
Because we've seen pictures.
We've seen
of
pictures,
the
that's right.
coyotes and the fox on Presque Isle.
And it's just a wonderful way to dispel some myths and take away some of the bad reputation that the coyote has. And again, whatever topic we're talking about, people learn something, they walk away, a little happier at the end.
Right.
And it's a great way to meet new people too. I've seen friendships developed from our campfire programs. It's pretty neat.
Because they're coming here every month, listening to something different.
Right.
And is it usually around the same time of the month every?
We try to keep it consistent. It's not always the same weekend per se, but it's usually at the same time, around 7 o'clock in the evening until about 8:30 p.m.
Okay. And how will I know when these talks are?
Pardon me?
When will I know? How will I know when you're going to be having these?
We put out a newsletter once a month.
All right.
Say, for example, December's newsletter will be coming out very shortly, early mid-November. And on the newsletter, we'll detail all of the programs that people can expect to find here at Presque Isle State Park. Not just the campfire talks, but everything that we do.
And again, we've been mentioning your Facebook page is really
The Facebook
important in
page.
keeping up with things. Do people have to sign up for these campfire talks, or can we just show up?
It's preferred that they register.
All right.
We like to have no more than about 60 people.
Okay.
Because if we do it here, there's space limitations.
All right.
We don't really limit the number when we have it during the summer out on the beach. Although sometimes it can be a little hard to talk over 300 people.
300 people.
Yeah.
you've got quite the following here, John.
Yes, we do. It's become a very popular program.
It really is. And I think I'm excited to hear about, some of the programs that you're going to be talking about. And viewers, just check out the website.
Right.
And see what's going to be happening for that month.
I know November 12, we're having one here, a campfire program. And it'll be about the history and lore of Presque Isle State Park.
You know what? I think that is so interesting because you could sit there and talk and still never learn everything there is about the history
You'll bring
of
up a
Presque
good
Isle.
point. My coworkers and I are passionate about the things that we like to talk about.
I know.
And an hour and a half goes by so quick. We feel that there's more to talk about, but we can't talk all night, obviously. We just bring up the most exciting things, and then we have question and answers at the end, and people just participate.
And it's a family thing,
a
too,
family
isn't it,
thing,
John?
that's right.
So I'm bringing the whole family. The kids are going to learn something. Like you said, you've got some crafts, activities set up for the kids.
If the little kids are, they get too antsy and they can't sit for an hour and a half, well, off to the side, we'll have like coloring pages and things like that.
So you think of everything. You guys
We
really
try
do.
to.
You have great programs here. John, thank you so much for telling us about these campfire talks. And I think it's great, especially that it's all year round. They don't stop in the fall and the winter. So come and join John, and you're going to learn something new every month.
Very good.
Viewers, we've just learned there is no reason to hibernate this winter. There is something for everyone right here in your own backyard. This is Judy Zelina with the Millcreek Government Channel, telling you to get out and play at Presque Isle State Park.
You're watching the Millcreek Government Channel, powered by WQLN Public Media.